Oh my god, OP finally posted another GS video. You guys already know what time it is. Should you summon ninjas part 2? Let's get to it. Part 2 of ninjas have Mazuki. Isn't her name Tamamo? Is it Tamamo or Tamame? I'm not for sure. I don't think it's Tamamo. Amine, I'm pretty sure that's what her name is, and Kisaragi. So it's gonna be the same way how I did the first one. If you guys don't know what the ninjas do, I'm gonna break them down to you like this, alright? Every single one of these ninjas, of course, have a third eye apart from the fox girl. So the first one is Mazuki. Mazuki is this renowned fire killer. That's what she's supposed to do. She has some pretty good slots. She has 200% damage up against fire enemies, and overall she's just supposed to just clap anybody that's fire. Unfortunately, in practice it's not always like that, but we're not going to get into that right now. And next is Tamame, which her kit is very weird because she benefits dark units, but she's a fire unit, and she tries to benefit both typings, but it just, I don't know, it's weird. So Tamame's normal art, she does dark damage instead of fire damage, but she reduces the enemy's attack, physical resist, and blind resist by 10%, which is stackable. And then for 15 seconds you increase dark allies arts by 2 per second, and this is art gen type C. And then her true art is a huge multiplier, 50,000%, and then reduce the enemy's fire resist, and it's stackable. I mean, it has a 60-second duration, so you'll definitely be able to get this off again unless you're like nuking. But yeah, it's like, what the heck? I don't know, to me her kit is very weird, even though like with her passives and stuff, because she has the passive where if an enemy is blinded she gets 100% crit rate. You increase your critical damage by 70%, and you increase your own arts by 10 for each enemy killed. And she seems really good on paper, but I've only ever seen her used a few times. Like I see most of the time people use her maybe in nuke comp with like maybe some dark units on the team, and even this, like, is that really like that crazy? I don't know. If you guys have her down below, tell me what you guys use her in. But for me personally, I could see her being used maybe in fire nukes, and then maybe in some dark nukes. Apart from that, I don't see her being used in much of anything else. I mean, she's definitely a cool unit. I really fuck with like the huge ass sword that she has, a demonic sword. I forgot what the exact name is from the story. In terms of like investment to reward for investment, I wouldn't really recommend. Next is Amine, which Amine is a unit that I completely forgot what the hell she did. Before we get any further in the video, let me say this. If you're not subscribed yet, you should subscribe to the channel. 40% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, and it only takes 2 seconds. Because hey, if you subscribe, you don't have to keep typing in my name on the search bar 24/7 to try to watch my video. It just pops up in your sub box. So hey man, why not save yourself some time and click that subscribe button. So her old kit, she's a light unit. She's actually kind of cool. She's able to increase all light and dark allies damage by 120%, which is very strong. The problem is that she has to get in third eye in order to do it. If she could do this right off the bat, this would be really good like in some nuke compositions and stuff. But considering the fact that she can't do it right off the bat, it's like, oof, that's kind of tough. She's able to increase accuracy to everybody and her own critical damage by 150%, which is pretty nice. That's for 20 seconds, by the way. And giving everybody a 50% accuracy buff, that's actually more than Dark Fin. And then you may think that crit damage is pretty useless on her because if you look at the banner picture, you can actually tell, but whenever she's in third eye, she's able to increase her critical rate by 50%. And also, by the way, yes, she will have 100% crit chance whenever you have her true weapon as well, because she has 30% crit buff up as a passive. When she's in third eye, she has 50% crit buff. That means a total of 80%. And then if you're using her true weapon, for 5 seconds, you increase your own crit rate by 20% with the skill. It refreshes every 20 seconds, which should be more than enough time for you to get back your true art. And by the time you have your true art back, this weapon should be back up. So on paper, she's really good. I think the problem with her though was that her slots were terrible. If her slots were any better, she would actually be a really strong unit. But considering the fact that it's not as great, I mean, hey man, you hate to see it. And last but not least is Kisaragi. And her entire kit is all about buffing your attack. Her true art, whenever you're in her third eye, is going to increase all allies attack by 100%, which is extremely strong. And she's also able to increase own attack by 50%, BE generation by 60% on the normal art, and she increases her own attack by 10% on her skill. It doesn't stack though, it's just, you know, for 7 seconds she increases her own attack. And then with her third eye ability, she increased arts by 100 when entering third eye, and then during third eye you increase your own attack by 50% and damage by the same percentage of attack buffs. So technically whenever you go in the third eye, you have 50% more attack, meaning that you have 50% more damage, because it works similar to Sonic's, right? Every 1% of attack up equals 1% of damage up. So with your true art, you're going to have 150% attack up for Kisaragi, and then you're also going to have 150% damage up. And then if you want to, you can use her true weapon, and her true weapon increases your own attack by 80%, and then if the user is fire, you increase your own attack by 150% instead. Her true weapon I think is a lot better than her actual kit, because this can be used on anybody with a physical attack slot. The point is, Kisaragi is all about attack buffing, and the first time she came out, I mean, I did give her a lot of shit because I just didn't really care too much about it, because there's currently another unit in the game that does something similar to her, and she has a little bit better slots. Of course, it's only for fire units though, and Kisaragi supports everybody. But if you're only using this on a fire team, then there's another unit that you could use called Lion, and she only gives 80% attack. Of course, there's probably other attack buffers in the game that just aren't coming to me right now that do something similar. But yeah, I mean, she definitely is decent. I think if you use her alongside like her, Sistina or Swick and Vox, and then like one other damage dealer, like maybe like a Weaver or something, I think you're gonna see some pretty insane damage because you're giving everybody like more attack. You're getting physical damage up, you're getting crit chance up, you're getting the crit damage up. So yeah, you're definitely gonna be able to see stuff, and she definitely isn't as bad as I was making her sound in the beginning. But even with that being said, I haven't seen anybody use her since her debut, whenever she came out like all those months ago. But that means that we come to the end of all the units that I've currently mentioned. How do I feel about this banner? To be honest with you, it's the same with both Hero Fest. The ninjas just are meant to be these niche units that are very strong and they're really good at their niche. But the problem is that most of them aren't even that good at it. Like for example, Mazuki, right? It was terrible whenever Mazuki was first coming out. She had the 200% damage up to fire enemies, right? Whenever she was coming out, I remember people saying she's better than Vox and everything like that. It's like, bro, Vox just isn't used for his damage. If you guys think that Vox is used because of his damage, that's just one of the reasons. Vox is used because how versatile his kit is, and he's literally the jack of all trades that is the best at everything that he does. Like, he's just way too good. And Mazuki can't really hold a candle to him because Mazuki is just a damage dealer that does tons of damage to fire. So Mazuki's not better than Vox. I really made a whole video on that. If you want to see that, I'm probably put it in a card somewhere. Where I literally was making fun of those people and just throwing shade at them. But I mean, it was a fun video. Amine is the same way, man. She has such a good kit on paper and it sounds very strong. It's just that her slots are the only thing that's holding her back. And I hate it when they do this stuff. If you make such a cool unit and their kit seems like it synergizes very well with itself, why are you going to screw it over with the slots that it has? It makes no sense. It almost makes the unit completely useless and completely waste your time. And it's like from the development standpoint, whenever you develop this unit, it's like, do you want people to use this unit? I mean, I'm completely down with having to use other units to support other units. You know, I'm always about that. I'm always about different team comps and different varieties. But it's the fact that this is literally hurting her as a unit, and this would be just a lot better if her slots were better, because her slots are trash. She has like the Vit slots. And Kisaragi is probably another unit that's one of the best to pull on this banner, just because her attack buff is extremely strong if that's something you're looking for. So that's how I feel. Now the verdict. Should you summon or not? No, I don't think you want to summon. If you're free to play, I don't think this banner is that great. I feel like this is only a banner for veterans, and this is how it goes for most of the ninjas, unfortunately. Most of the ninjas are catered to veteran players than newer players, which is fine. But the fact is that most of them don't even help us. Most of them are completely useless to us. But if you're a veteran player and you maybe want Kisaragi because you missed her the first time and you want the attack buff and all that, then maybe try it, maybe see if you can do it. And if you're able to pull that off, then it's going to be very good. If you feel like you need Mazuki to beat Ignis in like Dungeon of Trials or in the upcoming like Ifrit fight in the mines, which who knows when we'll get that, Mazuki isn't the best unit for those fights either. You guys can look them up on YouTube, you can look up guides and everything. Mazuki may be a recommended unit, but you don't really need her to beat those fights. Did Dungeon of Trials and you fought against Ignis and stuff like that, you will know for yourself that you don't need Mazuki from how everybody was saying before, was like Mazuki was pretty much required to beat that fight, and it's like, no, she's not. She's just an alright option. But yeah, man, this is what I think. If you're a veteran player, I think the only pickup unit that you may want is Kisaragi. Everything else is just whatever. I think definitely go if you get Amine and you want to use her completely, then make sure you're picking up the true weapons. Same thing with Kisaragi. If you don't want the unit itself, the true weapon may be pretty good for you. Yeah, the 80% attack up that Kisaragi's true weapon gives just by default is very strong. So you may want to pick that up. Of course, though, maybe recently because of the One Punch Man collab, you got Hero Gloves, which Hero Gloves does exactly what this does, but a little bit better because it's just 120% attack all the time whenever you pop it. But I mean, this isn't a bad option either if you don't have those Hero Gloves. But hey, man, that's the video. Thank y'all for coming out. I know some people are like, OP quit GS. It's like, nah, I didn't quit. It's just that there's not that much to do right now. So I'm making content on Genshin, and that's probably how I'm going to do it moving my channel forward. I'm just going to make content on Genshin and make content on GS side by side, and then we're just going to keep doing it like that. So hey, man, thank you all for coming out. It's been your boy, Peter. Don't like, comment, subscribe for more. And last but not least, man, don't forget to drink water.